Have you ever stopped to think why this video appeared to you now, at this exact moment? It's not a coincidence. It's not chance. Some messages only arrive when you're ready to receive them. Welcome. This is your moment of pause in the midst of the hustle and bustle, a space to look within and reflect on what truly matters. Take a deep breath, stay with me until the end, and let's walk this journey together. And since you're here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way you won't miss any upcoming sessions. And of course, leave a like, because perhaps this simple action is the sign the universe is using to tell you that you've already begun the change. Sometimes you spend years hearing the same advice, but nothing changes, until suddenly a phrase, a book, or a video crosses your path and seems to speak directly to you. This phenomenon has a psychological explanation. Your brain only sees what it's prepared to accept. It's as if there's an invisible filter that discards thousands of messages a day and only allows a few to pass through to consciousness. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone repeat a simple truth, only to realize you only really understood years later? This isn't weakness, it's evolution. The human mind only absorbs what aligns with its current stage of life. Neuroscientists call this selective attention. It's the same effect that happens when you decide to buy a red car, and suddenly it seems like every car on the street is red. They've always been there, but now your mind has opened to see them. The same thing happens in financial psychology. Opportunities have always been there for you, but only when your mindset is ready do you recognize them. Until then, you pass right by like someone looking at a treasure without realizing they're stepping on it. And maybe, just maybe, this video is just the sign that your mental filter is changing. Up. There's an invisible time between desire and fulfillment, and it's in this silent space that many people give up. They want wealth, they want financial freedom, but their minds aren't yet ready to sustain this new level of living. In psychology, this is called scarcity principle. When you believe you don't have it yet, you live in anxiety. When you believe you never will, you live in despair. And in both extremes, the opportunity may be right in front of you, but your mental filter prevents you from seeing it. It's like planting a seed and digging in the ground every day to see if it has germinated. Haste snatches away the possibility before it even takes root. Money, like life, requires time to blossom. And this time isn't just chronological, it's psychological. That's why so many people surrounded by opportunities remain stagnant. Waiting isn't about the calendar, it's about internal preparation. Life holds doors until you're ready to walk through them. If they opened earlier, you'd get lost inside. This is the waiting code. Nothing happens before the mind is mature, because it's not wealth that creates a prosperous mindset. It's a prosperous mindset that creates wealth. And maybe the simple fact that you are here now listening to this is the sign that your wait is coming to an end. Often, what changes the course of your financial life isn't a major event, but an almost invisible detail. A phrase spoken at just the right moment, a book that falls into your hands unexpectedly, or even a video like this, appearing exactly when you need to hear it. In financial psychology, this is called perception trigger. The brain interprets these events as mere coincidences, but they are actually signs that your mind is adjusting its focus. And when the focus shifts, what previously seemed invisible begins to reveal itself. Maybe you felt this way before. Suddenly, you start hearing stories of people who prospered. You meet someone who talks about investing. You receive an unexpected invitation to a project. These signs aren't random. They're proof that your mental filter is shifting. And here I want to make a side note. If this message resonates with you so far, it's because something inside you is ready to change. So, before continuing, remember to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This isn't just a sign of support for this content, it's also a way of telling yourself, I choose to be aware of these signs. Now I ask you, have you ever experienced a situation where everything seemed like a coincidence, but deep down you knew it was a sign? Share it with me in the comments. Your experience might open the eyes of someone who's also ready to see. Have you ever stopped to consider that perhaps the greatest enemy of your prosperity isn't out there, but within you? From an early age, your mind has been programmed with phrases, beliefs, and fears that have shaped the way you view money. You may have heard, money doesn't buy happiness, rich people don't go to heaven, or even, you have to work hard until you destroy yourself to achieve something. These phrases seem innocent, but they work like hidden codes. They repeat themselves silently, guiding your choices without you realizing it. And the curious thing is that the mind doesn't distinguish between what's true and what's simply been repeated many times. If someone close to you has always believed in scarcity, there's a good chance you've inherited this perceptual lens. This is why so many people live surrounded by opportunities, yet remain trapped in a reality of lack. They can't recognize what's right in front of them because their invisible programming is telling them, this is not for you. Money, before being a number out, is a mindset. Before being a balance in your account, it's an identity. You don't act according to what you want. You act according to how you've been programmed. And perhaps the greatest turning point in your life begins right here, realizing that this programming can be questioned, uninstalled, and rewritten. Because there's no code so strong that it can't be broken when you decide to take control of your own mind. At some point in life, we all face a breaking point. A moment when our old ways of thinking no longer support our desired lives. For some, this turning point occurs after a financial crisis. For others, it follows a loss, a disappointment, or even a simple insight that seems to shine a light in the darkness. Neuroscience calls this process neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself and create new pathways when exposed to new stimuli. In other words, life pushes us to the limit, forcing the mind to find a new path. It's at this moment that everything changes. Failure ceases to be an end and becomes a lesson. Mistakes cease to be embarrassing and become learning manuals. Pain, which once seemed unbearable, becomes fuel. Many of the greats we admire today only achieved prosperity after hitting rock bottom. They weren't ready beforehand, and so the opportunity didn't present itself. It was the crisis that shattered the old programming and paved the way for a new mindset. The turning point is when you understand that wealth isn't a distant destination, but a state of mind that begins now. It's not about waiting for the world to change. It's about changing the meaning you give to what has already happened to you. And maybe, without realizing it, you're experiencing exactly that right now. This video could be the silent push you needed to turn your pain into leverage. Before opening any important door, life often administers a silent test. It's not a written test. It's not a public exam. It's that sequence of unexpected obstacles, setbacks, and doubts that arise precisely when you decide to change. In psychology, this can be seen as an internal resistance mechanism. Your mind, accustomed to its old programming, creates barriers to avoid the unknown. It's as if asking, are you sure you're ready for this next level? The curious thing is that these tests aren't meant to punish, but to strengthen. They act as filters. If you give up at the first sign of difficulty, it means you're not yet ready to sustain what you've asked for. But if you persist, you prove to yourself that you're already capable of overcoming it. Think about it. How many times has something gone wrong just before it could go incredibly well? This is the pattern of the silent test. It comes to clear the way, to separate those who merely want it from those who are truly ready. And if you're here even now, listening to this message, perhaps this is a sign that you've already gone through several tests without realizing it. Maybe life is just waiting for your final decision. So, before we continue, remember, subscribe to the channel and leave a like. This is your way of saying, I am ready. I choose to continue. And tell me in the comments, have you ever felt like you were being tested by life and that these tests were actually preparation for something greater? Your answer may inspire others who are going through the same thing right now. Carl Jung called it synchronicity, those events that seem like coincidences, but carry a profound meaning. It's when you think of someone and they call, when a book appears with exactly the answer you needed, or when a video like this pops up on your screen without you having planned it. In financial life, the same thing happens. The right opportunity only appears when you're ready to recognize it. Until then, it goes unnoticed, as if invisible. It's as if the universe is aligning each piece of a puzzle. You don't see the whole picture while the pieces are scattered, but when the moment is right, everything falls into place. We often mistake this process for luck, but luck isn't a coincidence. It's the perfect combination of preparation and opportunity. Those who aren't prepared see only a common situation. Those who are ready see the chance of a lifetime. And maybe this is the right time for you. Maybe this video was exactly the missing piece of your puzzle. Because deep down, you're not here by chance. You're here because you've already started attracting what you need. The right time isn't tomorrow. It's not in the distant future. It's now. And the simple fact that you're listening to this is proof that the clock of your life has already ticked for change. How many times have you received a sign and pretended it was nothing? How many times has intuition whispered in your ear and you decided to ignore it, taking the easy way out? The truth is, life always sends messages, but not everyone is ready to hear them. And when you choose to ignore them, you end up repeating the same cycles, returning to the same reality as before. This video didn't appear here by accident. It's a call, a reminder that there's something bigger waiting to manifest in your financial and personal life. But to do so, you need to open your eyes and accept the invitation. If you turn it off now and continue living the same way, nothing will change. But if you choose to act differently, this could be the milestone of a new phase, a phase where you finally break the hidden programming, pass the silent test, and begin to live in tune with the right moment. Don't ignore it, because ignoring this message is like closing the door to prosperity that's already knocking. If you've made it this far, know this: none of this was by chance. This video wasn't just for entertainment, it was a reminder. A sign that your mind is ready to see what previously went unnoticed. The right time isn't tomorrow, it's now, and you just need to choose not to ignore the call that's before you. Prosperity, abundance, and transformation don't come with noise, but with small signs, and today you received one of them. Before you leave, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like it. Not only to support this content, but to affirm to yourself, I choose to continue this path of awareness and prosperity. And if this message resonated with you, don't stop here. Stay with me. Watch the other videos on the channel, because each one could be the next piece of the puzzle that will transform your life.